The Logitech Combo Touch takes your iPad and it adds a keyboard and a trackpad in a very compact package. And in this video, we're going to take a look at all the features of the Combo Touch for the iPad Air M3 to help you decide if you should buy this or if you should maybe buy the Apple Magic Keyboard instead, because there's a couple of advantages to this and also a couple of disadvantages. So the first thing to note about this is it's very easy to set up. You actually have this outer case that you put the iPad in and it attaches to the smart connector, and then it gives you another little smart connector on the bottom of it. So this means that the keyboard is actually detachable. So you can just treat this like an iPad without having the keyboard on it, which is a really nice feature that's missing from other keyboard cases. Then when you're ready to go use the keyboard, it just magnetically attaches, and then you have the kickstand on the back of it. I'm not a huge fan of kickstand cases, but this does definitely get the job done. Another cool trick is if you want the keyboard out of the way, but you don't want to set it to the side, you can just fold it on the back of it, which gives you a little bit of extra gripability to the iPad and keeps you from having to go retrieve the keyboard later. Then whenever you're ready to set it back up, it's very easy to just detach it, reconfigure the iPad. The next thing that's great about the Combo Touch is it just works. There's no drivers or anything. You just attach it to the iPad and then you're ready to go. The Combo Touch features a large trackpad, a nice keyboard, backlit keys, and there's even a function row on the top of it as well, with a variety of functions that are pretty similar to the ones that you find on Apple laptops. I find that where the Combo Touch really shines is when you use it on a hard surface, because with the kickstand, if you set this up on your legs kind of like a laptop, it does shake a little bit and it's harder to keep the kickstand balanced the way you want it to. So if you're gonna use your iPad on a couch a lot and you wanna be able to type, that's when I really recommend getting the Magic Keyboard instead of the Combo Touch. But the main advantages of the Combo Touch are in the weight and the price. The Combo Touch weighs just about 1.1 pounds, which is about half the weight of the Magic Keyboard. And it also is going to give you better protection of your iPad because the whole perimeter of the iPad is going to be protected, minus the little cutout for the Apple Pencil. So this is going to give your iPad better protection than using it with the Magic Keyboard, where the whole perimeter of it is just exposed. The next advantage of the Combo Touch is the price. The Apple Magic Keyboard starts at $270, and the Combo Touch typically retails for about $200, but you can find it on sale a lot of times as well. So you're going to save quite a bit of money if you go with the Combo Touch over the Apple Magic Keyboard. So what are you missing out on if you get the Combo Touch instead of the Magic Keyboard? Well, really the thing I don't like about the Combo Touch is the trackpad just isn't quite as responsive as the Magic Keyboard. The clicking also just doesn't feel quite right on it in comparison. You can see the whole trackpad moving, but with the trackpad on the Magic Keyboard, it's a glass surface instead, and I just feel like it's a better, more tactile experience to use it. But you do get the backlighting on it, which you don't get backlighting on the Magic Keyboard for the iPad Air M3, so that's a nice feature that you do get on this one. I also do prefer the cantilever design of the Magic Keyboard to the kickstand design of the Combo Touch. The typing experience feels almost identical, although the Magic Keyboard does feel a little bit more put together, a little bit more premium, but Logitech makes really great keyboards, and I've had no issues with any of the Logitech keyboards I've owned. This one just feels a little bit more hollow in comparison to the Magic Keyboard, which isn't a bad thing. The volume isn't really any higher. It just doesn't have quite as premium of a typing feel to it, which if you're gonna get this to type a ton, that's when you might appreciate the Magic Keyboard instead of the Combo Touch. But I think where the Combo Touch really shines is for the versatility that it has, because you're able to easily detach the keyboard and use this as an iPad. Or if you want to set this up for a video call and you don't want the keyboard out, you can easily use the kickstand and have the iPad off to the side. And it's still a great case even without actually using the keyboard. So versatility is really the name of the game for the Combo Touch, because you get all the features you need: the keyboard, the trackpad, the case around it, the kickstand, but it does come at the cost of not having the cantilever design or just the same exact premium build quality that you would like out of the Apple one. The Combo Touch is available in either gray or black. This review is specifically for the Combo Touch for the iPad Air M3. There's several versions of the Combo Touch available, so if you go to buy one of these, make sure that you're getting the one that will work with your specific iPad. This model of the Combo Touch is compatible with the M3, the M2, and the 5th generation iPad Air, so check the specs of whichever one you're buying. Make sure to work with your iPad. So overall, the Combo Touch does exactly what it needs to do. It adds a keyboard and a trackpad to your iPad and gives it plenty of versatility to use it with or without the keyboard, and with the versatility of adjusting the angle of the stand. To me, it's just not quite as premium or as sleek as the Apple Magic Keyboard, but it's still a really great option to make your iPad function more like a laptop and less like just an iPad. If you're interested in buying the Combo Touch, I do have links to buy in the description below. If you got any other questions about this, leave a comment. I'd love to hear them. Like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. Check out my video too, where I directly compare this to the Apple Magic Keyboard for the iPad Air M3.